Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Ashley, which is Ashley's Media Addiction, and today I'm coming at you with a book versus movie. So for this time round, I'm doing it on Emma by Jane Austen. So this was a book that I read for my book club in May, and it is basically about this woman named Emma who is trying to set her friend up Harriet with a suitable man. And she starts catching feelings for someone along the way. And it's basically just the drama that's kind of happening in this place. Um, for me, we'll start with the book. I feel like that's the best way to do this. I didn't fully understand the book. I was very confused for most of it. It took me a while to really actually understand even what the book was actually about. And I just really, really struggled. I found that it was so hard for me to know who was talking because you'd always have a group of people talking, but then it wouldn't say who was actually doing the talking. So it would switch person, but I'd never know who it was, and it would switch back, and I'd never know who was kind of discussing anything. And so I was just left very, very, very confused, and that is not what you want. I did think also that it was kind of very childish in a lot of ways. All the drama just didn't seem to was just not something I actually cared about in the slightest. So I just found myself kind of drifting off at a lot of times. But I did sort of like the ending of this book. So for the first two thirds, I was really bored. I just didn't know what the point of this book was. And in the last third, when people were starting to get married, when people were starting to kind of find that loving development, I did actually start to enjoy the book a bit more. So that was something good. But for me, I just know that this book just wasn't for me. Um, it seemed to just be people kind of chatting, and then they move to another location and they chat, and then they move to another location and they chat. And that was basically it. And I'm a plot driven reader. So when it was just this much character development and that was basically it, I just didn't particularly care, if I'm being truly honest. And that is such a letdown for me. I was hoping to kind of go in and enjoy this, but I just didn't. But I did read it for my book club. I did persevere with it, and I'm glad I did just for that last third. But I gave the book a 2 out of 5 stars for me. Not great, but you know what? That's okay. And then I watched the adaptation of Emma that came out in 2020, and I actually enjoyed this. Still not my sort of thing at all. I probably wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for doing this video, if I'm being truly honest. But it was better for me than the book. I found this one was a lot easier for me to follow. I still didn't really particularly like the characters all that much, but that's okay. But I did find that I was following the story better. I was kind of understanding what the book was on about because it stuck very, very close to the actual book itself. So I did actually really respect that, and I did really like that aspect of it. And I do love the fact that it had Bill Nye in it because I personally really like him as an actor. So it did kind of keep me intrigued all the way through as well, which was wonderful. I gave the film a 3 out of 5 stars. It just wasn't for me. I just needed more to be happening, and I was just finding myself a bit bored. But it was a good movie. I would definitely say the movie was better than the book on this occasion. And for me, I now know that Jane Austen just is not an author for me. And you know what? That's okay. Not every author is going to be for everyone. And that was my way of finding out Jane Austen isn't for me. And that's okay. Um, but yeah, I did enjoy the movie. Still wasn't really my thing, but I could appreciate it, and it did stick quite true to the book because I was able to be like, oh, okay, so this is what the book was actually meaning when this was happening. So I gave the film a 3 stars. It's not a bad film. It's not a great film. It was just okay to me, and that's okay. So the book was 2 stars. The film was 3 stars. Overall, I definitely preferred the movie. I understood what was going on in it, whereas I didn't with the book. So yeah, that is basically my analysis. It sticks really close to the book, but just does it in a much easier, simplistic way. That's a lot easier to understand. But yeah, if you have seen the film and you've read the book, which one did you prefer? Do let me know. And if you would like to see me do another book versus movie, let me know what book versus movie you'd like to see me do next. And until the next one, bye guys.